to me as a verse Cole got from Twitter comments.
Yo. We are Lamar's Wise.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
J. Cole just dropped a new project called Might Delete Later, which, by the way, I have to say before we get into this, I really enjoy that project. It wasn't phenomenal, but if I were to grade it, I'd probably say a B of some sort. Nonetheless, on the very last song, J. Cole dropped a 3 minute, 30-second song, 7-minute drill where he was firing back at Kendrick Lamar. And there's so many ways we can break this down, and we're going to get into that. But Q, give me your first impressions on the actual song and also just, what he did. Did he do the job?
I am not a J. Cole apologist. Let me just put it that way. I criticize J. Cole for a lot of things. This is the first time somebody on his level called him out.
Right.
And not only did Kendrick call him out, Kendrick threw bombs at this guy. Well, he threw bombs at Drake. He roughed up J. Cole. Let's put it that way. Because they have their friendly, they're friends in real life, and because they were even going to work on an album together.
Right.
I think it was really, really hard to figure out which way J. Cole was going to go when he dissed him, because it was inevitable. He was going to diss him. And so what that diss feels like to me, the 7-minute drill, feels like someone who took punches but held back on all the punches that they really wanted to throw. I want to get this out the way. The rapping on that song is phenomenal. The flows J. Cole uses, stupendous. The punchlines, his how wise his lyrics are, how lyrically sound he is, phenomenal. I don't like the fact that he called him his brother. I do not like the fact that this is war. I don't want to hear that.
Oh, geez.
I don't want to hear all that.
Oh,
not right now. You can call him your brother through a text message. On that record, I wanted violence. And J. Cole didn't quite give me violence, but he did give me some really, really hard bars, some really justifiable comments towards Kendrick.
I'm with you.
Some really, really things to think about. It came across to me as a verse Cole got from Twitter comments. I'm just going to scroll through here and see what everybody's saying about Kendrick Lamar. And he just looked at all the comments and put that all together in one verse, and that's what happened. So, good song, good raps, but I just needed more. I needed more violence.
I get it.
Needed more violence.
Listen, you're not wrong.
Disagree.
I don't disagree.
Okay, good.
Meaning I agree. Okay? First of all, I see exactly what you're saying, and I agree with most of that for sure. But there's 3 or 4 key, I would say, takeaways that I got from this particular song. You hit on one, right? You talked about the whole brother this, brother that concept, which I don't freaking love, right? Cole said, my text flooded for the hunger of a toxic reply. I'm hesitant. I love my brother. I'm not going to lie. I'm powered up for real, right? Like, this shit would be like swatting a fly. Like, stop with the brother shit, bro. But the overall thing with that is, bro, he's half-stepping. He don't really want to do this. He keep telling us at every turn, I don't want this. Now, we can get into...
Why admit this?
I'm with you. It's a horrible strategy and a terrible way to show face, because that's not what you do in a rap battle, right? So the other thing that I noticed is he called him a clout chaser.
Which, that was an interesting comment.
He called him a clout chaser. He said 2 different lines. He was like,
interesting comment.
if he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. Does he have a point? I mean, listen, that's not taking away nothing from Kendrick. We know this guy's great. We know that his discography is damn near untouchable. We know all the greatness about Kendrick, but like, Kendrick does go away for how long? He's the hiatus king. Kendrick is the hiatus king. He goes away, he pops out and stirs the pot with disses, and we all love it as rap fans. But there's something to that. I just wish I wish Cole would have took that angle and really did something with it. I just feel like he dropped the ball. Real talk. He dropped the ball. He could have did way, 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 way more with that. The other takeaway I would say is he talks about Kendrick's inconsistent drops. right? He talked about the whole 4 albums in 10 years. He talked about, he averaging one hard verse every 30 months. It's like, okay, we get the Jay-Z angle that you took with that. I don't love it. I wish it was more original. But of course, the cardinal sin that he did was he attacked Kendrick's discography. Like I personally think that was one of the worst strategies I've ever seen in a diss, right? It's not the fact that he's attacking a catalog, right? Because that's a good angle, but it don't work on Kendrick because for 2 reasons. Number one, Kendrick is Kendrick, and his discography is arguably he's arguably had the best 4-album run, really 3-album run in the history of hip hop. So why are you even talking about that? Especially J. Cole, when you done drop albums like For Your Eyes Only.
Come
on, man.
And he said To Pimp a Butterfly was boring, essentially. But what do people always say about J. Cole? His music is boring,
Thank
right?
you.
Or a good chunk of his albums are boring. For
The irony,
For Eyes
the
Only
irony.
is more boring.
Bro,
than To Pimp a Butterfly. Let's be real. Let's be real.
You don't like folding
Folding
clothes? You don't like folding clothes?
But
Hey,
look,
changes in neighbors is actually pretty dope. But anyway, bring a knife to a gunfight.
Bring a knife to a gunfight, right? It's almost like, all right, Kendrick brought a gun to this fight. Kendrick is violent. He's heinous with his words on like that. Kendrick wants to smoke. J. Cole came to this fight with a knife, and he's just taking little jabs. Like, the truth hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as the violence. You know what I'm saying? The truth hurts. J. Cole is just trying to speak his truth, his observations, but that's not enough for me to match what Kendrick did on like that.
I agree with that.
Personally.
I agree with that. And look, this moment is going to define Cole's standing in the big 3.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing that he's number 3.
No. Oh, come on. Now you're taking it too far.
When I say that, he's backing down already to Kendrick.
Oh, so you're talking like Big Dog? Like
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the status of
who gets the ball, like who gets the ball. And the game is 20 seconds
You see where
left,
I'm going.
And who gets the ball is going to get
who's taking the shot.
Who's taking the shot, and he's going to be Kendrick.
He's third option.
Okay.
If this is the NBA,
option,
he's Manu. He's probably Tony Parker back in the day. Who took the last shot with the Spurs?
I believe it was
Manu,
it was definitely Manu,
Tim Duncan, or Tony Parker.
It was either Manu, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, or Steven Jackson. One of those 4.
Okay,
but
Cole is Steven Jackson.
Okay. Now you're taking it too far.
Third or fourth option.
Cole is capable of hitting that shot, but he has not shown he can consistently make it. And that's, to me, he did. Now, I do want to say, before we switch topics, I do want to say this. He did mention that this was a warning shot. So for all the people, the history of people saying this is a warning shot, remember Drake sent a warning shot towards Meek Mill with Charged Up. Everybody thought Charged Up was weak.
That's a fact.
And he came back with back-to-back.
This is true.
Maybe this is just a warning shot, and whatever Cole got next on maybe the fall off is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot harder.
Listen, I hope you're right. But I believe you won't be
pessimistic.
right. I believe you won't be right
pessimistic.
Because the difference between that, and real quick, the difference between that one and now is that, well, the difference between the Meek and Drake beef when Drake dropped Charged Up versus now with Cole and Kendrick is that Meek didn't rap when he dissed Drake initially. It was a tweet. It was, bro, you have a ghostwriter, right? Like, so.
I mean, technical. You get
would you consider?
But I'm saying my point is a warning shot.
But my point is what prompted the Charged Up versus what prompted 7-minute drill is significantly different.
Charged is very similar, or maybe this is very similar situations where Charged Up, Drake literally says on Charged Up, this is a warning shot.
That's true.
He literally says it, and he says, you got a couple hours to respond, and I'm going to hit you with another one.
Got you.
Right? So maybe that's what this is.
I got you. Let's move on.
Listen to the full episode. Link below.